Hey, gun people. Talk about this Baltimore stuff going on. So let me hi Moki. Let me try to stay in camera. I don't know if I'm gonna be in the camera. This Baltimore, a little wet. This Baltimore stuff is I'm going to explain to you the cop side that probably isn't getting out because the cops can't talk. You notice they're releasing the reports, etc. They discharged these 6 cops. I think 3 of them are black, 2 or 3 are black, 2 or 3 are white, or 3 or 4 are white. And this is a disaster because they charged it too quick. And I think they did this probably for the protesters and the rioters, but you don't cater to people like that, because when you cater to bullies, then the bullies learn they have power, and then they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. So here's what you're not being told by the media, and here's what the cop side is not getting out. They're saying the guy was unlawfully arrested. They didn't have probable cause to arrest. Cops make arrests all the time, and probable cause is that reasonable set of circumstances that would lead a reasonable person with the same training experience to reach the same conclusion. That's basically what probable cause is. Now, probable cause is subjective. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's subjective. A cop with more experience is going to be able to justify probable cause less than a cop right out of the academy. And an attorney, a DA who reviews this probable cause, some may say, I agree, that was probable cause. Others may say, no, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's probable cause. So, probable cause subject, for them to say, oh, the cops made an arrest without probable cause, you got to realize probable cause is like the ocean in motion. It moves. It goes back and forth between public opinion and facts and circumstances. A cop needs to be able to articulate, explain, write down what led him to believe and do what he did. So these bike cops that arrested this guy, here's what their story's going to be. I guarantee you this is what their story's going to be. We're in a high crime area. We know there's high drug activity. We're in a high drug area. We know this guy has several prior arrests for drugs, transporting drugs, and selling drugs. We recognized him as a known drug handler, seller, and has been arrested and is fully aware in our community that he is a drug dealer. When we walked up on him, we either saw something in his pocket, we saw behavior, he was leaving a transaction, he just exchanged money. Something happened that drew our attention to him, and as experienced officers, we knew that he's a known drug dealer. This is a high drug area. We saw him in an area known to be frequented by drug users and sellers. And when we were going to go approach him and detain or do an investigative stop, and this is what a lot of people don't get, is this: there's certain things that we can contact people with. There's a consensual encounter, which means I walk up to you and say, how you doing, citizen? It's a great day. Good day to be in Texas. How are you? I'm doing fine. Hey, do you have the time? Great, thanks a lot. No detention, no nothing. That's called a consensual encounter. A cop can walk up and talk to anybody as long as I'm not exerting police powers and force. Now, if I walk up to you and say, hey, citizens, don't move. I'm a police officer. Look at your watch, tell me what time it is. That's not a consensual encounter. I've exerted authority and I've used my position to stop you and make you talk to me. But if I walk up and I'm just walking, hey, how you doing? Great day in Texas. Yeah, I'm just cruising around. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, any problems? We're talking and I haven't exerted authority. Consensual encounter. No detention, no arrest. Okay? The next level of contact is called an investigative stop or a detention. It's not an arrest, but all I need to justify that, people go, oh, you need probable cause. You just can't. That's BS. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't need probable cause to contact you. I need probable cause to arrest you. But to contact you and to do an investigative stop, to ask you questions, hey, go eat your chicken food. Quit bugging me. To do an investigative stop, all I need is reasonable suspicion. And that reasonable suspicion cannot be a gut feeling. Because it used to be cops just, I had a gut feeling, I know this guy and I thought he had a gun, he ended up having a gun. Okay, that sounds good. Well, over time, they've taken that away because it was either abused by cops or government and everybody was just using hunches. So they go, you know what? You need articulable suspicion. You have to explain the facts and circumstances that led you to raise your suspicion to contact this guy. To contact this guy, all I would need to say as a cop is, hey, I'm in a high drug area. I've arrested this guy twice. I know cops that arrest him. I've seen him at the PD in cuffs. I've been at trials where he's been charged and I saw the judge read him for drug trafficking. There's been warrants for his arrest before. I've seen his picture. I've been with other cops when they arrested him. This is a high crime area. He was there. He was in a drug area, and I thought he was engaged in illegal activity because of these facts and circumstances. Great. That's my articulable suspicion. Is that reasonable? Again, reasonable is not what you think, and not what some politician who's trying to get votes thinks, or not with some race-baiting Al Sharpton saying you did it because he's black. That doesn't matter. The law says what matters is would a reasonable person with the same training and experience as me come to the same conclusion? And the answer to that is yeah. You can grab any cop in the country and go, yeah, man, if I knew a guy was arrested several times for drugs and I thought he was in drugs and we were in a high crime area and I saw him, and yeah, I'd contact him and see what he was up to and see if he was on probation or parole, since I know he's frequently been arrested or in jail or out of jail, and a lot of times those guys are on probation or parole. So I wanted to contact him. Now that's my ability to contact him. Once I go to contact you and I exert authority and say, hey, I need to see some ID, what are you doing? Now I'm into detention mode. I don't need probable cause, but if you run and I see you reaching in your pocket and throwing something, or you're reaching in your ass grabbing out crack, which I've seen, and put it in your mouth and swallowing it while you're running, so you're destroying evidence, that's a reasonable conclusion that you're running. You're destroying evidence. You're trying to hide evidence. You're interfering with my duties. You're refusing to comply with my orders. You're resisting at that point. Now I have probable cause to arrest you. Now people are going to go, well, you can't arrest somebody just for running. You can't arrest somebody for running. If a guy's running, I can't go, oh, he's running from the cops, I can arrest him. But if I have all these facts and circumstances that I know, then I can use that ladder to get up to where now I do have probable cause to arrest you. It's like a traffic stop. People, you can't get arrested for speeding. You're right, you can't get arrested for speeding unless it's reckless, but you just get a ticket. But if you refuse to sign that ticket, that moves the crime to a misdemeanor because you're failing to promise to appear in court. Therefore, I have to book you and take you to jail, and then you have to post bond or sign out of jail with a promise to appear. So when you refuse to sign that ticket, you get arrested, then you hear all these people running around, I got arrested for speeding. No, you didn't. You don't get arrested for speeding. Okay? Oh, I got arrested because I was black. No, you don't get arrested for being black. You get arrested for behavior during crimes. So this is going to be the story now. These cops are going to go, hey, I had this reasonable suspicion to contact him. I was doing an investigative stop. He moved when he ran. He made furtive moves. He was reaching. I don't know if he was reaching for a weapon. I don't know if he was reaching for drugs. I saw him throw something. He was trying to evade us. He knew we wanted to talk to him. Honest people don't run. People that run are usually showing consciousness of guilt. Legal term used all the time. People show consciousness of guilt. Actions or behavior that would lead a reasonable person to believe you're guilty of something or you wouldn't be doing that. Most people don't run from the cops. So anyway, this guy ran from the cops. They chased him. They arrested him. Now, another problem that gets into it. There's been plenty of times as a cop where I've done this, chased the guy, he's ditched the dope. Now I don't have any dope. I would just go, shit, I got no evidence. I'm kind of shit out of luck now. Do I want to arrest this guy just for running? Hell no. I let go at least 10 to 20 people that I could arrest for every arrest I made. And shit, we'd make 30, 40 felony arrests a month. It was nothing to get an arrest. People, our cops are out there trying to arrest everybody. There's so many damn people. I could arrest people all day if I wanted to for something. I mean, you just drive around. Nobody's got an insurance or a license. They don't have any ID on them. You can arrest them because you got to find out who they are, etc. So you can make stops like that all day and arrest people. In California, marijuana is pretty much illegal. I could arrest people all day for marijuana. I didn't arrest people. I didn't give a shit. Throw that shit away. I don't care. Anyway, cops adjust their level on what they arrest depending on what they're working. Cops that work homicides, when I'm working a murder case and I run across a little bit of dope or crank or cocaine, people are like, oh, you gotta arrest him. I don't give a shit about that crack or cocaine. I'm not worried about that. I'm after my murder suspect, and if you give me information to help me, I don't give a shit about your dope. So, you know, everybody thinks all cops are going to arrest everybody they can arrest. If cops arrest everybody they arrest, they'd never be on the road. We'd be booking people all day. So you adjust your standard as you go. Now, these bike cops, I don't know. Maybe they were young. Maybe they wanted a drug arrest. Maybe they were working drugs. Maybe one of them wanted to get on a drug task force. And if you want to work drugs, you have to show that when you're a cop, you make a lot of drug arrests. So they go out and they look for dope so they can make drug arrests so they can get on a drug task force. Okay? So anyway, that's what's going to play out on why the guy was arrested. So for this DA to come out and go, oh, there was no probable cause for the arrest, that's so bogus and wrong. I mean, that just sucks for the cops. So now your next issue. We put him in a van and we handcuff him. Now, people are, well, they didn't seatbelt him in. You got to seatbelt him in. That's dangerous. Look, you know how easy it is when your hands are behind your back to reach around, grab a gun, undo your seatbelt. I mean, it's not like the seatbelts have a key on it. It's a stinking seatbelt. You got to press a button. How hard is it for somebody to undo their seatbelt? Now, I'm not protecting the cops. If the cops didn't seatbelt him in, big deal. I'm not worried about that. To be honest, I don't give a shit if they seatbelt him in or not. If the guy would have sat down and they were just driving around and he wasn't seatbelt in, he would have been tossed around. You don't see cop vans running around doing code 3, spinning. A paddy wagon or a van that picks up prisoners just makes it so cops don't have to pull off the road and go book the guy. You arrest somebody, you call the wagon comes over, you search him, you turn him over, you give him your booking documents, and then as they drive around the city and they pick up 5, 6 people, when they get 6 people in a van, they drive one time to the jail, they turn in all the paperwork and book them all. And that way you keep all these cops on the streets. That's why you have vans coming around picking them up. Now obviously if you got a bike cop or a motorcycle cop, they can't transport a suspect, so they need to call a car or a van, somebody to transport their suspect. And then sometimes they will meet them at the PD to do the paperwork. But regardless, the person that they're charging the poor guy in the van that drove. Now, they said they made several stops unknown. They've got videos of this cop van stopping, picking up other in-custody prisoners. It's not like they were stopping for donuts and coffee and saying, screw these guys, we'll screw them in the van. They were picking up other arrestees and they're trying to promote, oh, the van made several stops. So again, and the cops can't come out and go, hey, we did what, they can't make a statement. All the attorneys and lawyers and DAs and race baiters and all the bullshit can get up there and go, oh, this, and we got the autopsy, and we got, but the cops can't get up there and say their side. So the cops' side, I don't even know their side, but I'm telling you, this is what it's going to end up at the end. The cops did what they were supposed to do. They arrested the guy who was a known drug offender and they booked him. Now, whether or not he had prior existing injuries, the cop don't know. Maybe he was hurt when he got tackled. I kind of got off point there. Sometimes when you chase somebody, I don't want to arrest them. If I didn't use force on them when I chased them, if they finally just ran, they got rid of their dope, went around the corner, ran away, and then they all said, okay, man, I'll stop running, I give up. Pat him down, he ain't got no weapons, he's got no evidence, he's being a dumbass, I run him, he's got no warrants. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to waste time booking you for running, get out of here. So now I've ID'd him, I make sure he's in the system, I write down my contact, and you know, later if there's a burglary or if there was a murder or a rape, I'll say, hey, you know what, I kind of chased a guy, and here's the dude, here's probably your suspect. You know, and they're like, well, why did you arrest him? He ran from you. I'll be like, God, whatever. So, you know, again, different standards for where you work. Somebody that hasn't made an arrest with somebody running will arrest everybody that runs. I've had 90% of the people run from me, you know, whatever. Unless I got a good amount of dope or a gun on them or a good warrant, I got bigger fish to fry. So, but if I use force on him and I tackle him and I end up having to fight him, I have to arrest him, because if I don't, I set myself up for a complaint saying, hey, this cop beat me up and let me go. So anytime you make a cop use force on you, you're probably going to get arrested because you've taken away their ability to let you go now. I've kind of set myself up. That's why they say don't give warning tickets when you stop somebody for speeding or traffic violation. If I pull you over and I don't give you a ticket, I'm much more likely to get a complaint than if I give you a ticket. Because as soon as I give you a ticket, when you call in and complain, the sergeant or whoever IA is going to take the complaint, they're going to be like, you broke the law, you're just pissed off, you got a ticket, go away. So it won't matter. So that's why a lot of times cops will go, screw it. If I got somebody that I think is going to complain on me, I'm going to write them a ticket. Because I don't want them complaining and I didn't write them a ticket. Because you know what the sergeant or IA is going to do? Well, if you broke the law, why didn't you write them a ticket? And you're like, shit, because I didn't want to write the guy a ticket. It was kind of a bullshit offense. You know, I stopped him. I thought maybe I'd find dope or a gun. I thought maybe he was on parole. He had tattoos, kill cops on his neck, so I thought maybe he was on parole. I wanted to make sure he didn't have a warrant. You know, so what? He didn't give a signal when he turned. Big deal. I wasn't going to give him a ticket for it. Well, you shouldn't be stopping people unless you're going to give them a ticket, and you know we need stats and we need money, and you're out there if you're going to stop them, you need to give them a ticket. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. All right, so the guy's in the van. So they're saying they didn't seatbelt him in. The cops can't come out and say, hey, I seatbelted the dumbass in. He unbuckled his ass and he was running around the van kicking and banging and spitting and fucking with people. I had to stop because the van had to stop. They got him on camera. They had to stop and shackle his legs. Now, why would a van that was transporting people around, okay, cops are lazy. We're all human. I don't want to get out and handle this guy and mess with him and deal with him if I don't have to. So why do these cops who are driving around picking up other prisoners stop the van, get out, and shackle his legs? I'll tell you why. Because the dumbass unbuckled himself and he was running around the van kicking and being a fool. Now, did the cops do a brake check or screen check? Maybe. There's a thing in police terms, if you got an asshole in the back seat and you got a screen back there and he's fucking kicking and doing all the bullshit, then you know what? You tell your partner to brace himself because you're about to hit the brakes. So you go, brake check, and the guy's back there, it slams the seatbelt on him, he goes forward, he's like, shit. He's like, hey man, that's fuck do it. It's shut up then. So a brake check or a screen check, if he unbuckles himself, then you go, screen check, and he goes, smash into the screen. Rick, that's me, that's police abuse. You know what? Hey, it happens, okay? I mean, it's not something that we probably ought to do. Probably ought to treat all citizens, blah, blah. But you know what? When you do it to the same assholes and they're being jerks and they're cussing you out and they're threatening to kill you and they're spitting on the window, or, you know, you can only take so much and we're human. So we're going to react. And you know what? The only way to react to, hey, screen check. And the guy complains that they slammed on the brakes. Hey, a dog ran out in front of me. A car cut me off. What do you want me to do? I'm driving. I had to stop. You want to get in an accident so I don't hurt the poor little prisoner in the back seat when he bangs his face under the screen? So, now, did the van do this? I don't know. The van had GPS, so they know where the van went, what his speed was, how fast he was going. They've got all that information. It's not like this is... But there's no way they had time to investigate all this. They just came out and charged these guys saying they didn't have probable cause, they didn't interview any witnesses, they didn't go to a neighbor, they don't have witnesses. You know, they may have a couple people coming out lying. Oh yeah, I saw the cops, he was being abusive. Yeah, I saw the cops kick him when he was on the ground. Yeah, I saw the cops. I heard some cop on the radio, 30-year cop, going to call the radio the other day and say it's normal when you're chasing for somebody to go for the neck when you tackle them. Just like in football. Like, dude, you don't want to go for the neck. That's a small area. You're too easy to miss. I'm going to go around the shoulders, around the waist. I'm going for big areas, arm, head. I'm going something I can grab. I don't go for the head. I don't know where the hell this cop was caught for 30 years, but he's like telling it, oh, yeah, the cops probably hurt his neck, and I'm retired police officers because as cops, when we're running and chasing people, especially on a bike, when we jump off, we go for their neck. I was like, this dude's an idiot. But, you know what? He got his time on the radio and said his piece, and I think he's full of crap. But somebody's maybe going to use him. Hell, they can call him an expert witness, 30 years experience, to say the cops go for the neck. I think that's bullshit. Cops don't go for the neck. We avoid the neck because we don't want to threaten anyone. We don't want the guy dying. And chokeholds are normally illegal or not authorized. In my agency, it was authorized, but only as deadly force if a cop was getting beat. So, but this cop's going to say this guy probably hurt his neck, or they probably broke his neck when they tackled him, and then when they threw him in the van, that's how he died. That's absolutely ridiculous. If they had to stop and shackle the guy's legs, his neck wasn't broke, and he wasn't in that much pain, and he wasn't incapacitated that he couldn't get up and be moving his feet. So he's kicking, they have to stop the van and shackle his feet. And now they get him to jail, and when they get to jail, he's dead. And then you got some kid saying, hey, yeah, he was running against the wall and banging his head. Okay, great. Maybe he did do that. And now the story's going to come out later. Well, the cops were slamming on the brakes, and that was throwing him into things. And because he wasn't seatbelted, it hurt him. Now, could that happen? Sure. If you're running around handcuffed, you don't have good balance in a moving van, and the van turns, it's very likely you could fall, twist your neck, hurt your neck, fall into a bolt, something with handcuffed, and hurt you. So could that happen? Of course it can happen. But, I mean, how do you know what the circumstances are? I mean, who are you going to believe? The thug that ran from the cops that's got an arrest record, or the cops who are out there that really, they have more fish to fry than go after one dude. It's not like cops are out there, gee, today, I think I'm going to go arrest me a black guy. Yeah, that's my mission in life. I got nothing else to do but worry about color. You know, the cheating person always accuses the other person of cheating. If somebody's always accusing you of cheating, they're probably cheating because they think everybody's like them, and since they're cheating, you must be cheating. The biggest racists are the black people out there calling everybody racist because that's how they live their lives. In their mind, they're racist. They don't like white people. They think all white people are, guess what? They think they got a chip on their shoulder, so they think everybody thinks that way. It's normal for them to call people racist because they're racist. So all this charging and crap is just ridiculous. I think when it comes out in the end, most of the charges are going to be dropped. These guys are going to get good defense. It's total BS. And if they don't and they send these guys to jail, most cops are going to go, you know what? I ain't dealing with the BS anymore. You stupid citizens that want to elect these idiots and let people run all over the cops, we're out here doing this shit job in this shit area every day. We're going in neighborhoods that we have to spend 8 hours a day dealing with this shit that most of you won't even go in the neighborhood because you're scared to get robbed or attacked. You know, now they're trying to make the thug word, the nigger word, or the N word, or the T word, or you can't say Negro, you can't say black, you can't say thug, you can't say nigger, you can't, you know, every time a word gets associated with bad behavior, if the bad behavior is black, suddenly that's a code word for nigger. Oh, Rick, you said the N-word. Oh, the police are going to come arrest me. Big freaking deal. It's America. Praise Texas. Anyway, that's the story that you're not hearing from the cops. They probably made a good arrest. They probably did good intentions. The guy got in there. He got hurt somewhere in the transport. And the hollering for medical attention and why didn't the cops take him? Crooks know that if I say I'm hurt when I'm arrested and I get you to take me to the hospital, I get nurses and doctors to kiss my butt. I get to sit around and go, oh, I got hurt. Oh, I need some pain medicine. Yeah, give me some morphine. I need some morphine because I'm withdrawing. And, you know, and then they get in there and they play this game. They waste the hospital time. They waste your time. You're not on the street. You got to spend 2 hours. You got your sergeant calling. What the hell are you doing at the hospital? Hey, Sarge, my prisoner said he was hurt. They all say they're hurt. Get your ass back out on the road. You're trying to milk this call. We got calls pending. We got officers that are taking 2 calls because you're fucking around at the hospital. So get back on the road. So the cops are like, oh, okay. So next time a guy says, I got to go to the hospital, you're like, shit, I don't want to get my ass chewed by the sergeant. I don't want to cover my beat. I don't want to get accused of milking this. You know what? He don't look hurt to me. I'll just take him to jail. They got a nurse there. They're going to give him a medical when they get there. I'll let the nurse at the jail do his medical inspection. When you book a prisoner, a nurse comes in and goes, do you have any injuries? What's your injuries? What's your blood pressure? Let me take your temperature, blah, blah. They do an evaluation and they get booked. Now, if you get to the jail and the nurse goes, you know what? I think this guy has serious problems. He probably needs to go to the hospital. Guess what? Then you have to go to the hospital. But then when the Sarge calls, it's like, hey, Sarge, I tried to book him. The nurse at the jail said I got to take him to the hospital. I had to take him. Then it's like, all right. But if you take him on your own, you're going to get shit from the administration. So, again, a no-win situation for the cops. I'm not defending bad cops. I know there's bad cops. I know there's government authority and abuse. I understand all that. But there's the other side. And look, you know, every coin has 2 sides. You have to realize there's 2 sides of the story, and we're only getting the racist, cops, poor, mean, bad. What the politicians don't get is the cops is their only defense from the people. So the more they shit on the cops and sell the cops out, the more likely the cops are going to go, screw the system, we're not protecting you or the cities. And then guess what happens? Then the politicians get what they deserve and what they should get. All right? So that's my spiel on the Baltimore thing. Hopefully you understand the different type of contacts now. You understand consensual encounter, no authority, detention, investigative stops, leading up to enough probable cause to arrest. Once you arrest, how the medical procedure works. If a guy says he's hurt, hey, you have to do one of it. You can't take every prisoner you arrest to the hospital. One, the hospital is going to get pissed off. Sergeant's going to get pissed off. The city's going to get pissed off. Everybody's going to be pissed off at you. So you're getting all this pressure not to go to the hospital, and now all of a sudden,
because a black man dies and you got all the race baiters and everything. You got him in a liberal-ass city that voted Democrat for 50 years, that's got all black politicians who are going to fix all the woes because they're black. They're down for the cause, for the people. Woo! So they're going to fix all this, but now all of a sudden it's a white man's fault because they arrested a drug dealer, a known drug dealer, and he died on the way to jail. Does that excuse his death? No. Should he have died? No. Did he cause his own death? I don't know. If he did, piss on him. Then yeah, if he caused his own death, then if a guy goes out there and overdoses on crank and dies, I'm not going to be like, oh, poor guy, he was a good guy, he's dead. Tough shit. He took the drugs, he went out there, he's playing with fire, he got burnt. Okay? Guy robs a bank, gets shot, I'm not going to cry if he gets killed. Okay? The innocent people that get killed are the who people I cry about, but I ain't crying about some thug. Ooh, you said the T word? That's it, that means nigger? Whatever. Freaking crazy ass world we're living in upside down. Alright, hope that helps. How's my boys back there eating their hay? Boy, Mr. T, you're good boys.